Because at the end of the day, the most expensive thing you'll ever own is your inner calm. And too many people are trading it for temporary applause. We live in a world where everything feels like a stage. Social media has made us actors in our own lives. And often, we forget how to live without performing. But peace doesn't come from the number of likes. It comes when you can look in the mirror and feel whole, without needing to prove it to anyone. You don't have to be loud to be valid. You don't have to hustle every minute to be worthy. Some of the most powerful decisions you'll ever make are the ones that no one claps for. Like walking away from drama, saying no without guilt, choosing solitude over fake company. That's the kind of strength that doesn't look glamorous, but it heals you. Take a simple example. You're in a group of friends and everyone's trying to one-up each other. Who has the better job? The more luxurious lifestyle? The best relationship? You feel this silent pressure to match the energy, to speak louder, shine brighter, exaggerate your own success, just to belong. But then you stop. You take a breath and you say, I'm good with where I am. That choice, that stillness, that's choosing peace over performance. And people may not notice it, but your soul will feel it. In relationships too, we perform. We pretend to be okay. We act like nothing hurts. We smile while dying inside because we don't want to be too much or too sensitive. But one day something shifts. You sit across the table and instead of playing the perfect partner, you say, I don't feel seen. I don't feel heard. And I can't pretend anymore. That's not weakness. That's courage. That's the power of showing up as you, not some curated version of you. Think about work. You're grinding, saying yes to every request, staying late, burning out just to appear like the star employee. But at what cost? You haven't slept. You haven't laughed. You haven't lived. And one day, you reach your breaking point. But instead of quitting in rage, you calmly go to your manager and say, I need balance. I'm doing my best to protect you. But you need to remember something. I'm doing my job, but I can't keep sacrificing my health for deadlines. That sentence might not win you a standing ovation, but it might just save your mental health. And that matters more. Even in family, yes, even there, performance hides. You try to meet every expectation. You become the perfect child, the strong one, the reliable one. But behind the mask, you're tired. Choosing peace means allowing yourself to say, I need help too. I'm human too. It may shock them. It may even disappoint them. But it will set you free from a role you were never meant to carry forever. And sometimes, it's just with yourself. You wake up, and instead of jumping into productivity mode, you take a moment to be still. No phone, no rush. Just you, your breath, and a quiet cup of coffee. That small choice, that's rebellion in a world obsessed with motion. That's saying, I don't exist to impress, I exist to live. You weren't born to be a performance. You were born to be at peace with who you are, flaws, mess, beauty and all. So when the pressure builds, when you feel the weight to be on all the time, remind yourself, peace is not laziness. Peace is power. It means you've outgrown the need to prove. It means you've realized that the loudest life isn't always the fullest one. The person who wins isn't the one who shines the most. It's the one who can shine quietly, without losing their soul in the spotlight. Train people how to treat you, because every moment you stay silent, tolerate disrespect, or laugh off a hurtful comment, you're unintentionally teaching the world how little you value yourself. Whether you realize it or not, you are constantly setting the standard for how others show up in your life. You're either reinforcing your worth or giving people permission to ignore it. And let me tell you something powerful. People don't remember what you allow once. They remember what you tolerate repeatedly. Think about it like this. If someone calls you at 2 a.m. for emotional dumping, and you always answer even though it drains you, you've trained them that your rest doesn't matter. You've taught them that their chaos is more important than your peace. Now, imagine you say, I care about you, but this time matters to me. Let's talk tomorrow. That one act, it's not rejection, it's education. It's saying, here's how I deserve to be treated. In relationships, this lesson is vital. Let's say your partner constantly makes decisions without considering you. They assume you'll adapt, adjust, compromise, and you always do. But with each compromise, a piece of you goes silent. You think it's love, but without respect is just attachment in disguise. One day, you choose a different route. You say, I'm not okay with being an afterthought. I need to feel like an equal. That statement doesn't cause a fight, it causes alignment. Because you're showing them how to love you right. Even in friendships, the same truth applies. Maybe you have that one friend who only calls when they need something. They cancel plans, ignore your wins, but expect your shoulder every time they cry. You let it slide, telling yourself that's just how they are. No, that's just what you've allowed. When you finally say, I'm not just here to carry your pain, I need space to celebrate my joy too, you're not being dramatic. You're being deliberate. You're creating a boundary. And boundaries aren't walls. They're bridges for healthy connection. In your professional life, this power can shift your entire reality. Suppose your boss or co-worker talks over you in meetings, disrespects your ideas, and you laugh it off or stay quiet. What you've done without realizing is say, it's okay to silence me. But when you lift your voice and say, please don't interrupt me, I wasn't finished, that moment becomes your declaration. Not of arrogance, but of worth. It tells the room, I'm not invisible. I'm not afraid to be heard. Even strangers learn from you. A cashier speaks rudely. A customer yells. The old version of you would shrink, apologize, brush it off. But now, you lock eyes and calmly say, you can speak to me respectfully or not at all. That's the kind of training that changes people. Not through anger, but through presence. Through knowing who you are. And let's not forget the most important part. Training yourself how to treat you. If you constantly break promises to yourself, skip rest, ignore your body, abandon your dreams to make others comfortable, you're showing the world that you come last. But when you say, no, I'm not going to that party because I need rest, or I'm investing in my growth, even if no one claps for it, you're sending a message to the world, to your reflection, that you matter. You see, confidence isn't about yelling. It's about teaching. Quietly, consistently, unapologetically, teaching people that you are not a doormat, you are not a backup plan, you are not here to be tolerated, you're here to be respected. And respect starts with you. Exit with elegance. Because not every door deserves to be slammed. Some deserve to be closed quietly, with grace, so they never have the power to open again. There's a kind of strength that doesn't scream. It doesn't post long paragraphs. It doesn't beg for closure or clap back with fire. It just walks away. Unshaken, unbothered, undefeated. That's elegance. And in a world where everyone's addicted to reaction, your silence will always be the loudest reply. You see, people expect a scene when they push you to your limits. They're prepared for the shouting, the drama, the accusations. What they're not prepared for is your calm, your poise, your ability to look someone in the eye and say, "Thank you for showing me who you are," and then walk away without turning around. That's power. That's dignity. That's how a queen leaves the room. Let's say you're in a relationship where your value keeps getting questioned. You're being gaslit, dismissed, or emotionally manipulated. You've begged. You've explained. You've tried to fix something that's been bleeding for too long. And one day you wake up and realize the only thing left to do is leave. But not in pieces. Not with a broken voice. You pack your peace, your self-worth, your silence, and you leave like you're walking into your future, not escaping your past. That's the kind of exit that haunts people more than revenge ever could. Or think about the workplace. Maybe you've given everything, your hours, your creativity, your heart, and still you're overlooked, disrespected, taken for granted. Most people would storm out, slam the desk, shout into HR. But not you. You smile. You finish your tasks. You send a final email that radiates professionalism. You walk out the front door like you were born for better. Because you were. That's the kind of departure that makes people ask, how did she do it with so much class? Even in friendships, this rule applies. Maybe you were always the giver, the one who remembered birthdays, showed up at midnight, supported dreams that no one else clapped for. And then you saw the truth. They only loved you when you were useful. You could lash out, you could guilt trip, but instead you go quiet, you unfollow, you detach. You don't curse them, you just rise. Because walking away without bitterness isn't weakness. It's a sign you've elevated beyond the mess. There's beauty in not matching someone's chaos, in refusing to explain what they already knew they were doing wrong. That elegance, that's what stays in their mind long after you're gone. When they expect a storm and you give them a sunrise. When they look for your rage and all they find is your absence. When they try to provoke you and you hand them peace. That's when they realize they lost something rare. Not loud, not perfect, but real. Sometimes the greatest revenge is your glow up, your silence, your ability to smile again without them. You don't owe explanations to people who chose to misunderstand you. You don't need to fight for space in rooms that made you feel small. You simply rise. And you exit like your name was never meant to stay stuck in that chapter. Every time you choose elegance over ego, you upgrade your value. You teach people that access to your energy is a privilege, not a right. And when you walk away, you don't walk empty. You carry your peace, your power, your poise, like a crown no one can take. So here you are, standing at the edge of who you were and who you're becoming, not because life was gentle, but because you chose to rise even when it hurt. You chose to hold your tongue when you could have lashed out. You chose grace when disrespect begged you to react. You chose silence when chaos demanded your energy. That's not weakness. That's the definition of power. That's what royalty does. You see, the world will never stop testing you. People will continue to show up with sharp tongues, bruised egos, and empty intentions. But you don't have to shrink. You don't have to scream to be heard. Sometimes the softest voice shakes the loudest room. Sometimes the woman who walks away without a single word leaves a scar they'll never forget. Let them misunderstand you. Let them think your calm is fear, your exit is surrender, your silence is weakness. Because one day, they'll realize the truth, that you were never angry, you were just done. You were never bitter. You were just wise enough to stop watering dead plants. People who wouldn't even give you honesty the first time. That's not giving up, that's growing up. And growth, real growth, looks like you no longer sitting at tables where love is conditional and respect is rationed. Remember this. Don't waste words on people who deserve your silence. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. That's not just a quote. It's a life lesson. Your energy, invest it where there's return. Your time is sacred. Give it where it's valued. Your heart is a home. Offer it where people wipe their feet before they enter, not where they slam the door behind you. You are not too much. You are not too emotional. You are not too strong. You are exactly who you were meant to be. Powerful, elegant, and unshakably wise. And when people try, people who wouldn't even give you honesty the first time, that's not giving up, that's growing up. And growth, real growth, looks like you're no longer sitting at tables where love is conditional and respect is rationed. Remember this. Don't waste words on people who deserve your silence. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. That's not just a quote, it's a life lesson. Your energy is currency. Invest it where there's return. Your time is sacred. Give it where it's valued. Your heart is a home. Offer it where people wipe their feet before they enter, not where they slam the door behind you. You are not too much. You are not too emotional. You are not too strong. You are exactly who you were meant to be. Powerful, elegant, and unshakably wise. And when people try, take the high road, you are climbing higher into your own greatness. Every time you walk away from a fight that doesn't serve your soul, you are teaching the world a lesson it won't forget. That a woman who knows her worth can't be shaken by a fool who forgot it. So exit with elegance, respond with wisdom, set boundaries with class, and move like a queen who doesn't need a crown to be recognized. Because the crown isn't on your head, it's in your presence, in your decisions, in your silence, in your peace. And if they ever ask why you walked away so quietly, just smile and say, because I know who I am, and that was loud enough.